And again, people, we are back. Ben from Lover of Tech. We've got the iPhone 15 in-house, and of course, you know it. We're gonna unbox it, give you our early impressions, and actually compare it to the Galaxy S23. So here we have it, the iPhone 15, and the one we have here is in a blue color, 128 gigabytes. We're gonna unbox it, see what it has to offer, and compare it to the Galaxy S23. But before we do that, a big and massive thank you to the guys over at Vodafone UK for supplying the iPhone 15 for review and testing. There will be links in the description below and details of where you can get the best deals on Vodafone UK with the iPhone 15. And yeah, without wasting time, really appreciate the support so we can get the content out for you. Let's get into the iPhone 15 unboxing. All right, cool. Let's open this. Oh, oh yeah. Kind of had a peep already, and I'll tell you what, I love how this looks. So let's put this to the side. Let's get this out slowly. Okay. Oh man, I know people have been complaining about it's barely blue, but I love this pastel color finish, colorway, and the feel. I mean it, man. I've got the 15 Pro. This feels nicer than the 15 Pro. This is the nicest feeling normal numbered iPhones ever released. And I'm so shocked how much I'm actually enjoying and liking these. Of course, with the move over to USB-C comes a braided USB-C to C cable, which is 2.0 speeds. Again, the port on here is USB-C, but it is USB 2.0 speeds at 480 megabits per second, compared to the USB 3 speeds, 10 gigabits per second on the iPhone 15 Pro and 15 Pro Max. We get a standard usual Apple booklet stuff with the SIM ejector tray, because again, in the UK, we still get a physical SIM card tray compared to our people over the USA. So still nice convenience for us. Let's put this on the side and let's have a look at the blue iPhone 15. Wow. Yeah. This just, wow. This just feels nice. So of course we've got this side button on the right, aka the power button. Then you've got the two individual volume buttons here. We've still got the traditional volume and mute switch toggle, apologies. Right? Not the action button. Again, once you go action button, you can't really go back. I really love that addition. And of course, we do have the dual camera with the new 48 megapixel main sensor, which is a 26mm lens, not the same as the 14 Pro and the 14 Pro Max, or even the 15 Pro and the 15 Pro Max. This is a new, slightly smaller 48 megapixel sensor dedicated for the iPhone 15 and 15 Plus, with the ultra wide at 12 megapixels as well, with no dedicated zoom lens. So yeah, we're gonna see how that holds up, and let's peel the screen. Cool, clean. And here we have it, iPhone 15. Of course, what we're now gonna do is give you a quick tour once we boot it up and then compare it to the Galaxy S23. Okay, we are now set up in the iPhone 15 and let's do a quick tour and walk around. And again, this is in the blue color. And as much as people are talking about wanting it to be deep blue or more saturated, I love the pastel look of these finishes. And this satin finish at the back, really nice. Like I said before, with the aluminium frame that is matte satin finished and bright. This is such a good finish. And I'll be honest with you, yes, the Pro is where it's at. And I've got the 15 Pro here in the white titanium. This feels nicer. And I can't explain, it just feels nicer. But yes, the Pro is where it's at. You've got the action button, triple camera system, fast USB-C. You know, the Pro's where it's at, 120 hertz display. The Pro is definitely where it's at. But I'll be honest with you, minus a few caveats, this is a nicer feeling phone out of all the 15s. So yeah, let's take it pretty much through. Now, what do we have here? The front and center is everything that we know and love about the iPhone 14 Pro, right? So same 6.1 inch display, same bezels, dynamic island now, which obviously I prefer the name being the virtual touch bar, in my opinion, and the peak brightness that is 2000 nits outdoors and 1600 nits when it's HDR, 1000 nits sustainable, but maximum peak brightness to 2000 nits when you're outdoors is great. Dynamic island working there as well. But yeah, this is a 60 hertz display. And we're gonna compare it to the Galaxy S23 and see that a 60 hertz display at this price point, yeah, I really wish Apple put a 90 hertz display. To the trained eye like myself, I notice it, and it's attracting away from just how good the phone feels. And I really wish they made the screen faster and smoother. Again, for those that don't understand what high refresh rate means, compare it to top speed and smoothness. It's like your car being able to go top speed of 120 miles an hour compared to 60 miles an hour. It's faster and smoother. You're not getting that here. And it's a shame when we've been experiencing phones that do that since 2019. But yes, we've got that here with the display. And then of course the performance, when we have here is Geekbench, which pretty much shows that we are on the latest iOS 17.0.2. It is the A16 Bionic, which is pretty much the same as what's in the iPhone 14 Pro, and still 6 gigabytes of RAM rather than 8 gigabytes of RAM on the iPhone 15 Pro series. Again, let's open up the camera. And we can see that, as stated from before, this has the next generation portrait mode where you can get portraits shot. And says when a person, dog or cat is in a frame, you can quickly turn on, the photo into portrait mode with basically with beautifully blurred background by tapping the F for editing. So you don't even need to go into portrait mode to be able to capture the portrait depth data. This is something that's brilliant. Again, I've shown it in the Pro unboxing that I did before. 4K 60 has been improved. In the past, you couldn't switch between the lenses while recording in 4K 60. You can now, without having to stop recording and switching lenses. Again, you still can't pause recording and continue on the same clip. You can't flip to the selfie, but this is great to have much more flexibility here. And again, cinematic video, which goes up to 4K 30, and you've got the continuous zoom that's in there now, which is great to see. And you don't even have to stop recording to do that. As you can see, it allows you to do that, which is great. So again, we've got the new 48 megapixel sensor. So when we go into the settings and we go in to camera, what we notice is that under formats, by default, in daylight, it takes 24 megapixel images, and in low light, it defaults to 12. Double the detail, should be much crisper, and you've got the resolution control, which allows you to take the full 48 megapixels when you go to photo and you press HEF or HEIF max, you're able to take the full 48 megapixels in JPEG, which is great to see. But yes, let's bring in its closest competitor, which is the Samsung Galaxy S23. And boy, make sure you stay tuned and locked and subscribe, because I'm going to be doing a detailed camera comparison and overall comparison against the Galaxy S23. So you're not going to miss it, because this has a dedicated 3x zoom lens, a 50 megapixel main sensor, and an ultra wide, as well as being able to shoot 8K video. And of course, you do have a 120 Hz adaptive refresh rate display here. Whereas this is limited to 60, the S23, when you go into display, you do have the ability to go all the way up to 120 Hz, and you can limit it to 60 Hz if you want to save a bit of battery, but this is adaptive, whereas this is limited to 60. And of course, in terms of the form factor, 6.1 inches, I'll be honest with you, man. Yeah, this has got its work cut out against the S23, especially when they're pretty much within the same price bracket. Slightly cheaper MSRP on the iPhone 15, but again, you can get this cheaper because it's been out since the beginning of February. So we're gonna compare this. And in fact, let's take this outside and give you an early preview camera comparison of how these phones work when it comes to videos and photos. So we're starting off with the 4K UHD 60 frames per second video recorder mode on the iPhone 15 Plus and the Galaxy S23 Plus. I just want to state this for reference. I do also have the standard iPhone 15 and S23, right? The 6.1 inch models, and they have the exact same camera systems on both. So I'll be using this clip to reference both videos when it comes to initial camera quality test. We've switched over to the 4K UHD 30 frames per second video recorder mode on the selfie camera. Again, just seeing how the image quality difference is like between the iPhone 15 Plus / 15 and also the Galaxy S23 Plus / S23. We've switched to the rear cameras on the iPhone 15, 15 Plus, and also on the Galaxy S23 Plus and S23 in 4K UHD 30 frames per second. Start with the main wide sensor. Again, just seeing how the image quality is like, stabilization, detail, dynamic range. You do get flexibility to switch between the lenses. Of gone to the ultra wide on both, while still recording on the same clip without having to stop recording. Go back to the 1x, 2x mode, 2x mode. And you do have a dedicated 3x zoom lens on the Samsung, whereas on the iPhone you do have to do a digital crop to 3x. And back to the main wide sensor. We've now switched to the 4K UHD 60 frames per second video recorder mode between the iPhone 15, 15 Plus, and also the Galaxy S23, S23 Plus, starting on the main wide sensor. Again, there will be an in-depth camera comparison between the iPhone 15, 15 Plus versus the Galaxy S23, S23 Plus. So be sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss that, as I will go much more in detail about the nuances in the camera. And the first thing to show, what Apple have improved here is the fact that without stopping recording in 4K 60, you can switch to the ultra wide and back to the main sensor into the 2x mode. And the switching between the lenses is the smoothest I've seen on any phone in the iPhone 15 series. It's incredibly good. You can shoot in 4K 60 on the ultra wide on the Samsung, but you do have to stop recording, then switch to the ultra wide. We are now recording in an 8K 30 frames per second video recorder mode on the Galaxy S23 versus the 4K 30 on the iPhone 15. Again, usable 8K video with minimal field of view crop, video stabilization, and dynamic range and detail being an absolute tact. This is brilliant from Samsung, allowing you to use the full capability of the main 15 megapixel wide sensor. That is it with my initial unboxing, impressions, and comparison of the iPhone 15 versus the Galaxy S23. Which iPhone 15 did you end up considering getting? Was it a 15, 15 Plus, 15 Pro, or 15 Pro Max? Let me know in the comment section below. And that's it for me, Ben from Lover of Tech. If you enjoy videos like this, you know exactly what to do. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you're part of Team TLS, the Tech Lover Squad, so you don't miss any future videos on the channel. I hope you're all safe during this time. I will catch you in the next one. Peace.